It's 1 p.m. in Harare, Zimbabwe's capital. Welcome to ZTN News Blitz, our top stories. Zimbabwe sanctions, will Sadc win the fight? South Africa open talks on grounded aircraft. Botswana President Masisi wins hotly contested election. And in sport, Zimbabwe international midfielder Marvelous Nakamba faces Manchester City in England. The Southern African Development Community is today marking Anti-Sanctions Day. The bloc is using the day to push the United States to lift its economic sanctions on Zimbabwe. Washington, however, says the sanctions are targeted. A crowd led by Zimbabwe's First Lady Auxilia Mnangagwa marched in the capital Harare, and President Emmerson Mnangagwa will deliver the keynote address shortly. Secretary General of South Africa's ruling African National Congress, Ace Magashule, has also organized a march in Beitbridge, a border town south of Zimbabwe. ZTN will keep you updated on that event. Zimbabwe's main opposition, MDC, says sanctions are not the source of the country's economic challenges.
False narrative that is being peddled around, and there's no other bigger false narrative than the sanction narrative. Why is Zimbabwe in a crisis? What do we need to do to move out of this crisis? And in this debate, we need honesty, we need truthfulness, we need all of us, we in the MDC, those in ZANU-PF, those in civic society, the church.
However, the Sadc Secretariat tweeted earlier this morning that sanctions were affecting Zimbabwe's citizenry and, by extension, the region. Part of the tweet reads, quote, Sadc reiterates its call for the removal of all sanctions imposed on Zimbabwe to pave way for socio-economic transformation. Zimbabwe's national airline, Air Zimbabwe, says it is negotiating the release of its aircraft, which was grounded in South Africa on Thursday over debt. Air Zim owes the Airports Company of South Africa landing, parking and passenger service fees. Air Zimbabwe spokesperson Tafadzwa Mazonde spoke to ZTN.
It's not been impounded. It has not yet just taken off. There's an issue of a debt which are engaged with are still going on. You impound against a court order, you don't just impound. So it involves a number of things. So at least for the time being, yes, we are not flying. But we'll resume our flight, I think, in the very shortest period of time. I think right now, the solution has almost been found.
Incumbent President Masisi on Friday won a 5-year term in Botswana's election, which saw his ruling party secure more than 51% of parliamentary votes. The Botswana Democratic Party, which has ruled since independence from Britain in 1966, was declared the winner after attaining the minimum 29 parliamentary seats required to form a government. Zimbabwean musician Peter Moyo says it's unfair for music fanatics to equate him to his late father, Tongai. Peter is this weekend holding commemorative concerts for his father and admits that the pressure to live up to the levels set by Tongai is weighing heavily on his shoulders. Peter Moyo speaks.
Well, to be honest, it's very difficult. Because so it's a difficult road, but I'm happy to slowly following my philosophy and where I want to go and what I'm trying to do.
Let's move on to sport. Zimbabwe international midfielder Marvelous Nakamba will be in a big game away to Manchester City on Saturday. Nakamba, who has been outstanding for Aston Villa recently, will be expected to neutralize the talented Man City attackers. In other matches in the EPL, Chelsea face Burnley on Saturday. Arsenal is at home against Crystal Palace. Unbeaten leaders Liverpool will get another stern test when they host Tottenham on Sunday. Zimbabwe Premiership clubs Dynamos and Highlanders meet this afternoon in a friendly cup game at National Sports Stadium in Harare. The two teams have not had a good run this season, but whenever they face each other, fireworks are expected. The encounter is part of the event lined up for today's anti-sanctions campaign. In basketball, the Golden State Warriors lost by 141-122 to the LA Clippers in their first regular season game at their new $1.3 billion arena. Stephen Curry was the game's leading scorer with 23 points, but the Warriors, who lost two-time NBA champion Kevin Durant in July, struggled. Elsewhere, 42-year-old Vince Carter became the first NBA player to play in 22 seasons when he appeared before the Atlanta Hawks in a 117-100 victory over the Detroit Pistons. England faced giants New Zealand in Saturday's World Cup semi-final. England head coach Eddie Jones and his New Zealand counterpart Steve Hansen will be under pressure to lead their teams to the final. In another match, Wales fullback Lee Halfpenny replaces Liam Wilson for Sunday's World Cup semi-final against South Africa, while centre Jonathan Davis returns after being past fit. That's all we had on ZTN News Blitz. Thanks for watching.